You're okay with that term?
I don't care. I have 1% growth of GDP from sport, and I'm aiming for another 1.5%. Call it whatever you want.
What if I told you there's a man who can crash global oil markets with a single phone call? A prince who owns a $450 million Leonardo da Vinci painting hanging casually on his $550 million yacht? Someone building a 170-kilometer mirror city in the desert with artificial moons just because he can? This is not a character from your fictional story. But this is Mohammed Bin Salman, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and his story will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about wealth and power. While most billionaires buy sports teams or space companies, MBS is literally building entire civilizations from scratch. But behind the gold-plated jets and underwater dining rooms lies something far more complex, a strategy so calculated it's reshaping the global order, $1 billion decision at a time. But who is Mohammed Bin Salman? And how is he topping the list of the richest person in the world? Will he inherit the fortune or build his own empire? While these questions hit your mind, let's meet Mohammed Bin Salman. He is the sixth son of the government Salman bin Abdulaziz, born in 1985. He was surely born into luxury, but not into power. As the sixth son, royal protocol suggested he'd live comfortably in the shadows while older brothers claimed the throne. But MBS had different plans. While his brothers enjoyed Western educations and flashy lifestyles, MBS studied shadows. He watched his father wield authority as governor of Riyadh, learning that power isn't inherited, it's seized. No Harvard degree, no Oxford credentials, just cold, calculated ambition sharpened behind palace doors. The opportunity came in 2015 when his father became King Salman. At just 29, MBS was appointed defense minister, the youngest in Saudi history. The world raised eyebrows, but 2 years later, those eyebrows turned to stunned silence. 2017 marked the year MBS stopped asking for permission. In one strategic stroke, he became crown prince, bypassing his older cousin, Mohammed bin Nayef, who had been next in line. This wasn't a traditional succession. It was a carefully orchestrated power grab that sent shockwaves through the royal family. What happened next was unprecedented in modern royal history. In November 2017, MBS launched what he called an anti-corruption campaign, but what many observers recognized as the most sophisticated wealth transfer in human history. Over 200 Saudi royals, ministers, and businessmen were detained in the luxury Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Riyadh. These weren't ordinary arrests. They were staying in five-star accommodations while negotiating settlements with the Crown Prince. Shockingly, MBS secured $107 billion in assets and returned to the state. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, once called the Warren Buffett of Arabia with a $17 billion fortune, spent 83 days in the Ritz-Carlton before reaching an undisclosed settlement. His Kingdom Holding Company, which owned stakes in Twitter, Apple, and Four Seasons hotels, suddenly found itself under new management influence. This wasn't just about corruption, it was about eliminating rivals and filling state coffers simultaneously. In one brilliant move, MBS neutralized opposition while funding his ambitious future projects. Then comes the $930 billion war chest. Through Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, PIF, MBS commands a $930 billion sovereign wealth fund that's actively reshaping global markets. This isn't passive investing, it's strategic empire building. The PIF owns significant stakes in Tesla, Uber, Disney, Boeing, and Meta. When MBS bought 5% of Uber for $3.5 billion, he wasn't just investing in ride-sharing, he was positioning Saudi Arabia as a major player in future transportation. His $2 billion purchase of Newcastle United FC wasn't about football. It was about buying cultural influence in Europe's most beloved sport. But the crown jewel remains Saudi Aramco, the world's most valuable company worth over $2 trillion. As its de facto controller, MBS can trigger global economic shockwaves. In 2023, when he slashed oil production, gas prices skyrocketed across Europe and America. Wall Street trembled. Your commute became more expensive. That's not market fluctuation, that's command. While other billionaires buy islands, MBS is building Neom, a $500 billion futuristic megacity that reads like science fiction but is already under construction in the Saudi desert. The centerpiece is The Line, two parallel mirror-clad structures stretching 170 kilometers across mountains, desert, and coastline. These aren't buildings, they're linear cities, 500 meters tall and 200 meters wide, designed to house 9 million residents in a car-free, carbon-neutral environment. But Neom isn't just The Line. There's Oxagon, a floating octagonal industrial city designed to disrupt manufacturing like Silicon Valley disrupted tech. Trojana offers ski slopes and winter sports in the middle of the Saudi desert, complete with artificial snow and luxury wellness retreats. The engineering challenges are staggering. High-speed rail connecting the entire length, vertical farms feeding the population, flying taxis for transportation, and an artificial intelligence system managing everything from traffic flow to temperature control. Here's the kicker. MBS is selling citizenship in this future city for $100,000 per person, and applications are pouring in from tech entrepreneurs and futurists worldwide. He's not just building a city. He's creating a new civilization with himself as the founding father. When you control nearly 10% of the world's oil supply, your lifestyle choices become legendary. MBS doesn't just own luxury items, he redefines what luxury means. His custom Boeing 747-400 isn't a plane, it's a flying palace worth over $400 million. Gold-plated surfaces, mahogany-lined offices, crystal chandeliers over a dining room for 20, and bathrooms bigger than New York apartments. The ambient lighting automatically adjusts to different time zones, and silk sheets cover a private bedroom fit for a king. But that's just one of his aircraft. He also commands a Boeing 747-8i for shorter trips and an Airbus A340-500 because sometimes one flying palace isn't enough. On water, his $550 million super yacht Serene stretches 439 feet across the Mediterranean. 10 jacuzzis, a saltwater pool, a nightclub, and yes, a submarine hangar with an actual private submarine. The underwater viewing room lets guests watch marine life drift by, or perhaps host discreet meetings no satellite can trace. His French chateau, purchased for $300 million, features a moat, underwater viewing chambers for watching koi fish, and a wine cellar holding 3,000 bottles. Amusing since MBS doesn't drink alcohol, but consumption isn't the point. Projection of power is. If you are still enjoying the shocking wealth secrets of Saudi Prince M. Salman, subscribe to our channel for more billion-dollar secrets. MBS owns a digital kingdom strategy that redefines its actual futuristic asset goals. He understands that modern influence isn't just about oil and traditional diplomacy. It's about controlling digital narratives and technological futures. His investments reflect a carefully calculated strategy to position Saudi Arabia at the center of the global digital economy. Through PIF, he's invested heavily in artificial intelligence companies, autonomous vehicle technology, and renewable energy startups. The goal isn't just financial returns, it's technological sovereignty. By 2030, Saudi Arabia aims to be a global hub for AI development, with NEOM serving as a testing ground for technologies that will define the next century. His partnership with companies like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft isn't just about cloud computing, it's about ensuring Saudi Arabia has a seat at the table when the future of human interaction with technology is decided. MBS's fortune isn't limited to business and technology, he is fully invested in sports. The $2 billion purchase of Newcastle United was just the beginning. MBS has transformed sports into a soft power weapon that's reshaping global entertainment. The creation of Live Golf, backed by $2 billion in Saudi funding, directly challenged the PGA Tour's dominance. By luring top players like Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, and Cameron Smith with contracts worth over $100 million each, MBS forced the golf world to acknowledge Saudi Arabia's growing influence. In football, the Saudi Pro League's recruitment of Cristiano Ronaldo for a $200 million annual contract wasn't just about soccer. It was about making Saudi Arabia synonymous with global sports entertainment. Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante and other superstars followed, transforming local matches into global spectacles. Each signing sends a message. Saudi Arabia isn't just participating in global culture, it's buying and reshaping it. Despite controversies, MBS has positioned himself as an indispensable global player. He maintains relationships with both Washington and Beijing, hosts summits with Putin, and mediates Middle Eastern conflicts. His diplomatic strategy is transactional, offering what others need while securing what Saudi Arabia wants. Oil production coordination with Russia, arms deals with America, trade agreements with China, and mediation services across the Middle East. When regional tensions escalate, world leaders call Riyadh. When oil markets need stabilizing, MBS holds the key. This isn't just wealth, it's weaponized influence. As Crown Prince, MBS isn't waiting to inherit the throne, he's already reshaping it. His Vision 2030 plan aims to reduce Saudi Arabia's oil dependence from 80% of government revenue to less than 50% within this decade. The numbers are staggering: $3.3 trillion in planned investments, 1.2 million new jobs, and complete economic transformation within a single generation. If successful, he'll have accomplished what many thought impossible, transitioning a petroleum-based economy into a diversified global powerhouse. So, who is Mohammed Bin Salman really? A visionary reformer dragging his country into the future, an authoritarian ruler disguising control as modernization, perhaps both, a complex figure embodying the contradictions of power in our interconnected world. What's undeniable is his impact. In less than a decade, he's transformed Saudi Arabia from a closed, conservative kingdom into a major player in global technology, entertainment, and finance. His wealth isn't personal fortune, it's a tool of statecraft used to project power and reshape international relationships. As NEOM rises from the desert and Saudi Arabia hosts more international events, the world watches this young prince who dared to reimagine an entire kingdom. Whether history remembers him as visionary or tyrant may depend on whether his bold gambles pay off or whether the human cost proves too high. One certainty remains. At 39 years old, controlling a $930 billion war chest and commanding the world's largest oil company, Mohammed bin Salman has positioned himself as one of the most powerful people on Earth. And he's just getting started. MBS has already changed the world. Now the question is whether we're ready for the future he's building.